A young girl is on a video call with her parents when suddenly a masked killer appears, wielding a sharp knife, and stabs it into her body. When police arrived at the scene, they found the girl's neighbor, Rosie, lying in the girl's yard, mumbling that he had seen the killer. But due to post-traumatic stress disorder, when he regained consciousness, he couldn't remember anything, not even what he had said or done. At this point, police examining the crime scene discovered the girl had been stabbed over 40 times, with wounds covering nearly every part of her body. She died from excessive blood loss in a very short time. However, despite this brutal attack, the killer left no fingerprints at the scene. According to reports, when rescue personnel arrived, the victim's face was covered, indicating the killer showed remorse after the murder, which suggests the girl and the killer likely knew each other. To gather more clues, police extracted all data from the girl's computer and sent it back to the tech department. They were shocked to discover the girl's computer was loaded with malicious software, and someone had remotely controlled her computer's webcam. However, when the killer shut down the computer, a photo of them committing the crime while wearing a mask was saved. At this time, the girl's parents also arrived at the police station. The parents claimed they didn't know their neighbor Rosie and had never heard their daughter mention him. At the time of the incident, they were on a video call when suddenly a masked person appeared behind their daughter. They thought it was a prank by their daughter's friend until they heard their daughter's screams and realized the severity of the situation. At this point, with constant encouragement from the detective, Rosie tried to recall the scene of the incident. He vaguely remembered seeing a figure holding what appeared to be a knife, but he couldn't recall what the person looked like. Meanwhile, the tech guy examining the victim's computer successfully found a serial number for a malicious software device. This device had attempted to connect to the victim's computer multiple times over the past 4 months. The team then matched electronic devices in the victim's room and finally found the device in the victim's nightstand. It turned out to be an intimate toy used by long-distance couples. Once connected to the network, the partner could remotely control it to express their affection. The detective pulled up the toy's usage records and was shocked to discover that this intimate device was connected to 3 different accounts. This meant that besides the victim and her boyfriend, there was a third party who could control the toy. Whenever the toy was connected to the computer, the third device would automatically come online, and this person could watch the intimate moments between the victim and her boyfriend, and even participate in the interaction. This is commonly known as cyber violation. The detective suspected this mysterious person wasn't satisfied with just online contact and had escalated to real-world confrontation. This person could very well be the killer. Police then pulled up the girl's social network and showed Rosie photos of people in the girl's life for identification. Looking carefully at each photo, he was able to describe in detail the relationship between each person and the victim. This immediately raised the detective's suspicions. The victim and Rosie weren't supposed to be familiar with each other, and the girl had never mentioned her neighbor's existence to her parents. Therefore, the detective concluded that Rosie was hiding the truth. At this point, when examining the photo left behind, when the killer shut down the computer, the detective noticed what appeared to be bloodstains around the killer's mouth. Obviously, this was blood that had sprayed from the victim's wounds, so the killer would have definitely spit the blood out. This meant that at the crime scene, there must be DNA left behind when the killer spat out the blood.